One thing people don't understand is when you're a social media influencer, you're just like everybody else. You're subject to feelings and biases, and what people think about you can affect what you're doing. And if you start watching everyone's videos, you start reading all the comments, it can begin to affect you. Coach Greg, and I'm doing a final day recap of here at the Arnold Classic, and what a day it was. It started off by going to the gym, doing my regular cardio. I haven't missed a day since then. And I've ran into so many fitness influencers. I ran into Chris from the Tren twins. We had a long chat. I'll get into that. Also was talking to Noel Diesel. Let's just get right into it. And so in the men's strongman competition, we had Mitchell Hooper come out on top over Thor the Mountain in the final lift of the day, which was the deadlift. 770 pounds, had to get as many reps as they could. And Mitchell Hooper, he needed 7 reps to win the competition. And so Thor had done 9 repetitions, but because Mitchell was ahead of him, he needed to only get 7 to have enough points for the win. He decided to go harder than last time, and after getting 7 reps for the win, he decided to pull 1 rep more. He perhaps had 2 more reps in the tank if he really wanted to push himself, but it's all about getting the win. You don't want to get injured. You don't want to push yourself past failure and beyond and really end up with an injury after just winning the competition. And so I'm telling you, the crowd was so excited about these 2 guys lifting. It was a head-to-head battle. Each man was winning in one event versus the other, and so it was really, really exciting to watch. This was the first real strongman competition I'd watched in over 10 years, and it was very exciting. Got me really into it, cheering for the guys. It was absolutely incredible. And in the women's competition, boy, what a battle. It actually ended up in a tie.
30 points is the first place score. The cool part is 2 people got it.
The audience was watching them pull the 500 pounds for repetitions. One girl actually got 12 reps with 500 pounds, which is absolutely insane. And remember, these are conventional, no touch and go paused reps, very difficult. And so because it was a tie, they then had to lift again, had to hang on to the bar as long as humanly possible. And the last person to let go of the bar is going to be your Arnold Classic Strongwoman champion. And so what's really amazing is she started the day in 9th place. They lift over 2 separate days, went from 9th place to 1st place. And so it just shows never give up. Come from behind victory. Champion Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. I can't remember her name. You guys know I can't ever remember names. But what an exciting event to watch. Also exciting for me, I interviewed with Rob Moore Progressive. We did almost a 3-hour podcast interview. We answered so many different questions. You guys will not believe the topics we got into. We got into everything. I mean, after all, close to 3 hours. And so you can watch the full video on his channel when it comes out in a couple of weeks. And I'm also going to be posting clips of his on my channel. The topics we discussed, we had no holds barred, got into everything. He's an amazing interviewer. Absolutely was exciting and a privilege to be interviewed by this man. And I finally got to run into the Tren twins. I was so busy at the expo, meeting fans, taking pictures and whatnot, and it's just so difficult to get around. When you go to these expos, there's so many fans, and it's hard to really walk around and look at various booths and expos. And after all, I'm watching the strongman competitors. I'm being interviewed, and so I didn't get to run into them. But back at the hotel, got lucky, ran into Chris. We had a long talk, perhaps 10 or 15 minutes about everything. And I'm telling you, there's no animosity. There's no beef. There's no hate. There's no nothing. There's no real drama. And so what I think is missing that people don't understand is the Tren twins, they don't actually watch my videos. We discussed this. He says, I don't want to watch videos because I don't want to have it influence me. I don't want to have a different opinion of what I'm doing. One thing people don't understand is when you're a social media influencer, you're just like everybody else. You're subject to feelings and biases, and what people think about you can affect what you're doing. And if you start watching everyone's videos, you start reading all the comments, it can begin to affect you. And so if you start reading comments, what happens is people remember the negative ones. Even though you have 1,000 positive comments, if you read 1 negative comment, you're going to remember that. And so when people make videos about you, for example, myself, I make videos about so many people. If you watch that video and the person says something that you don't like, you might remember that and it might affect you negatively. And why would you be wanting to subject yourself to negativity? And so their choice, they've decided not to watch videos. And so when they watch various video clips, which often have clickbaited titles or a thumbnail, they don't know the actual message that that person's saying. And so word of mouth goes by, you read a comment, you see what somebody says, and so you assume that person's saying something negative when in fact they may not. This happens all the time. If you ever make drama type videos on YouTube, you're going to obviously get things back, which I do all the time. And so I expect this, but I lean into it. You may think I've been canceled or I've been kicked out of an organization or whatever. It's not actually true, but you've read it and you think that it actually bothers me. If there's a few people that are upset about a video that I've done, there's always a few people upset about a video I've done. Think of it. If I make a natty or not on someone and I say, yeah, I think they're not natty, they're going to be upset because I said they're not natty. People are going to be upset. They don't like that. But think of the opposite. Let's say I say that they are in fact natural. People are going to be mad at me. Why are you lying? Why aren't you calling them out? And so no matter what side I take, there's going to be some people happy about it and some people mad. And so I just tell you what I think. I don't lie. I don't make shit up. I don't bullshit you. I've done this for years. I am very honest to a fault. And so when people say, oh, I don't believe you, you did this, somebody paid you off. Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. And so one thing, a theme that I want to bring out, and I don't want to say any specific names, but this is a theme. People with millions of followers, the most famous celebrities, oftentimes have body dysmorphia. People are oftentimes, when you're the most famous, the best looking, they have the most muscle, the leanest, they are the people who are the most critical on their own appearance. And so just because somebody looks incredible, they're absolutely amazing, have millions of dollars, millions of followers, doesn't mean they like the way they look. And it's apparent to me that this is a huge problem, perhaps bigger than I thought. People at these expos, they are surrounded by thousands and thousands of fans that expect their heroes to look a certain way. And heavens forbid you gained a couple of pounds. Heavens forbid you went on a bulk. Perhaps you're in the off season. Perhaps you're not dieting for competition. Heaven forbid you have over 10% body fat. It's not single digits anymore. And if you start comparing yourself to other people, well, that is a big mistake. For example, you're comparing yourself to me. Maybe I'm 7 or 8% body fat. You might feel fat compared to me. And if it's not me, look at any competitor at the Arnold Classic. Think of it, whatever the category, men's physique. Guys are shredded, ridiculous. And so if you compare yourself to them, of course you're going to feel fat. And so what happens is, oftentimes these social media influencers develop an ED, a disorder in the way that they eat. It's not good. Perhaps they're eating 1 meal a day, 2 meals a day, starving themselves. Some people perhaps doing number 3 in the bathroom. They're eating, but are they in fact keeping all of that food down? Remember, 25% of people who compete in sports involving weight classes have this ED. Think if you're a bodybuilder, both the weight class that you're in and the fact you're being judged based on how you look. What percentage of people do you think have no eating problems whatsoever? It's a very small percentage of people. Most people in these competitions have warped sense of what they can eat. They struggle with their appearance. They struggle with what they eat. They finish a competition. They gain back the weight. They don't like the way they look. They're yo-yo dieting year round. And people then wonder, why would Coach Greg ever say that you should main gain? Why would I do that? Think of it. Really think critically now. I'm 48 years of age. I've done 59 bodybuilding competitions and I've coached thousands of athletes. Do you not think I understand all of these pressures? Do you not think I've gone through all of this in the past? Just think of it now. And so when I say to main gain and you say, no, that doesn't make sense. You should bulk and cut because it's this and that. Have you considered what it's going to do to your mental health? Bulking and cutting, yo-yo dieting, seeing yourself get fat and then seeing yourself get shredded back and forth. A, is it healthy to do that? No. B, is it healthy for you mentally to see yourself get shredded, 5% body fat, and then go up to 20%? Who wants to see that? It's not easy. When you get used to seeing yourself shredded, you're not going to want to gain any weight back. How could you? And so for those of you younger people out there watching this, understand that the people who have the best bodies in the world, the most money in the world, the most followers in the world are oftentimes the ones suffering the most in silence. Think of it. Who can they reach out to? If you have 5 million followers on social media, can you make a video and just say, hey guys, I don't like my body. I don't like how I look. I feel fat. People probably can't relate to say, what's wrong with you? You're a very good looking girl, guy. I would trade places with you in a heartbeat. You have my dream physique. If you just say, yeah, I'm ugly, it's going to be hard to relate. And so they have fewer people that can relate to them. How many people have 1 million followers? There are not that many. I mean, imagine walking around these fitness expos with so many thousands of fit people and being asked to take photos. And let's say you put on 20 pounds since your last YouTube video. How are you going to feel about that? Probably not very good. Fans want you to flex the bicep with them. Well, what if you haven't trained arms in a few weeks and your arms are a little bit small? You might not want to do that. And so what do people do? They wear the pump covers. They don't wear a tank top in the gym. They have to get a very good pump, or perhaps before an expo, a lot of people are actually going on cycle. And by cycle, I mean they're going on steroids, SARMs, whatever. And why is that? Well, they want to look good for the people at the expo. It's not a bodybuilding competition, but for a fitness influencer, it's bigger than a bodybuilding contest. You're getting thousands of people, potential sponsors that you don't want to let down. And so I want to make it very obvious, whether you're a social media influencer or just a person as a fan, there's so much pressure to look good. You need to stop comparing yourself to other people. And so overall, if I had to wrap up this event, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It was absolutely ridiculous. I 100% would come back every single year. This is a show you do not want to miss. It's absolutely shocking to me that they can make an event this good here in Birmingham in the UK. And I can't imagine you not wanting to do it. And I'm assuming next year, I've talked to other people, it's going to be bigger and better. They're upping the prizes. There's going to be more fans, more exhibitors. It's a place that you have to be. It was a great experience for me to be here. I enjoyed speaking on the panel. I liked meeting all of the fans, taking photos and talking as much as I could, attending all the events, supporting the athletes. I mean, I'm literally a fan. And so for next year, put this on your list. Don't miss out. If you're into fitness or into being healthy or working out, or if you have social media influencers that you look up to, this is the place that you want to be. And of course, if you're interested in my cookbooks, the harder than last time supplements, creatine, beta-alanine, GO2 max, Ecti Builder, Turk Builder, pre-workout, stims or non-stim, protein powders, Delta Sleep, G-Test, 3-Test. There are so many supplements. I can't list them all. I can't even remember them all. Get over to my website and use the code GREG. It's going to save you 15% off. Oh, join the over 300,000 newsletter subscribers. Basically, I'm going to send you emails about twice a week with deals and discounts and things that are going on. You should become part of that list. It's just a cool group to be. It's just, you got to get in there. It benefits me, it benefits you, it benefits us all. It's a win-win. And so head over to my website and do that. And until next time, I am out.